Hi traders, it's E from MarketWizards.com just before noon on Sunday, the 29th of May, 2022. Reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. Taking a quick look at a couple of other charts. This is the tunnel through time. Basically, the idea of sigma is plus or minus on a chart. And we can see when we bottomed recently on the 22nd of May, we've been able to come back and retest, but not take it out. And that subsequently has led last week to a range type trade until the end of the week. And then we had to break out on Thursday and obviously Friday continuation. So this low, and if you want to look at this as an angel type move, which I like to, couldn't penetrate into this core block of support. And still a range trade until we break out, and we came out hot obviously on Thursday and have not looked back. Very powerful idea of a slingshot trade from an overreaction on one side back to the other side, and who knows, some people are saying new bull market. I'm suspicious. It doesn't matter, we're always looking for intraday type opportunities anyways, so we'll take it one step at a time. Let's take a look at what I call the umbrella trade, which is a very powerful methodology. And if you get underneath all of the moving averages, then it will tend to be a downside move, and usually with pretty good speed. And when it ends, then we get these snaps, and you just never know exactly when they're going to come. You just know they're going to come. And depending, and there's a 480 chart, depending on the time frame you're looking at, the more powerful moves will come from these higher time frames, and then the other time frames will line up along with them. So the umbrella is on the falling side, and then either the alligator or the cobra, I like to call it, is when we get the bite to the upside. So by breaking this blue line, we've already demonstrated power on the 480 chart. So we know that this is our next line that will be very important just using this methodology alone. So we already know to keep an eye as this migrates downward and this comes up, and then we may get the rotation in between these two. So the next step that I like to do then is just go and obviously look for a smaller time frame to find out what's next. So going to like a 240. This will give me a head start on those bigger ideas. And we can see the same principle where this was under on the 240. We've been under it. We pop above, but can't stay there, and then right back to it again. And this starts to show the signs that the 240 is getting tired because we started to get back above it. And as moving averages continue to migrate, don't forget that at one time this line was up here in the 14.2s, and now it's down in the basically 13. So that's part of it too. You have to understand that these levels will continue to change, making them easier to step over at times. I'll look at a 120. And we can see just how important that 120 has been. If you've kept your eye on that, you can see this solid trend has not been able to bust that. Once we got back here into mid-April there, it was down and down and down until very recently, this last a week ago. So that chart has been very helpful, and I find for intraday trading, that's one you want to keep an eye on as your backup chart. And then, of course, we can go to the normal charts, 60s. Here's a 60. double tops. So by themselves, I think moving averages are helpful, but not the whole idea. We need to use other tools as well, but they're very powerful once they kick in. And here's a 30. And you can see how these straight, fast moves, and then you'll get the the little hop that will catch everybody trying too much, and then it bounces, and then it comes back in and resumes its cell. And until we get the final lows, and nobody knows when they are, these type patterns will repeat over and over. 15-minute chart is the bread and butter chart. You want to keep an eye on how this guy moves. This was just a straight down knife that convinced everybody we would never end. And that turned out on a 15-minute basis to be the lows so far. And intraday traders try to take advantage of these. And then when we get to the bottom, you've got to be careful because these do snap. And when they snap, if you're just planning on re-entering, you can get killed that way. You have to have every entry stand on its own. So if you add in and it starts to beat the add in, you've got to drop that one fast. And umbrella, Cobra. And you can see how good this was. Let's go to 5. Here's your Cobra. Just look at the power in that chart. Once it finally decides it wants upside instead of downside. So you need the 5-minute chart, in my opinion, for this type of an edge. And once you go vertical into a pole, then you want to stay above the rain line too. Powerful chart. And of course you can do that with 3s and 1s, which I do. There's that Cobra on a 3, and this was a chart that I liked last couple of days. 3-minute chart has been perfect. Back it up with those bigger ideas, but then go to something like a fast chart like this. And a 1-minute chart is also good, but you'll get more noise, I find, with that one. But I do keep an eye on it. And here's what I'm talking about, noise, because you're underneath that blue line, but then you regain it and it's over and under because a 1 typically is too fast. So that's why I like the 3s. They're just over and over. If you blend a 3 with a 15, powerful charts. So those are my 2 go-to charts right there. Umbrella trade, down. Cobra trade, up. You've got to get it above, and depends on the time frame you're using. And I always want to know a bigger time frame like this to understand the concept of, are we trying the upside? Is the market trying to hold? And the real importance of that is going from the idea of hitting resistance to understand that if you're in a bounce mode, then you want to be focused on where is support and where's my next target, where's my next resistance, and where's my next support, and where's my next potential resistance. Simple as that. 2 great trades, the umbrella trade and its counterpart, the Cobra, which will bite you. This is like the head of the snake, I call it. You've got to know where the center of gravity is, but that head will bite you. And that's where you want to pay attention to both. What I call the center of gravity and obviously the head of the snake. All right, hope this helps. Any questions, give me a shout out and have a wonderful weekend.